Do you know my intro?
I don't even know. Wait, you know, when you asked me that, all I could think about Simo's intro. I don't know why.
Oh, cool. Sure, just the better YouTuber.
I just remember Farfa Glasgow? What was it?
What's my intro?
Glasgow Yugioh. I remember that one.
What is it?
I don't know.
YouTube!
Oh yeah. YouTube!
Hi everyone, different type of content today. You're here with the person who decided to tolerate my existence.
Yes.
So, hi.
Hi.
Wife's here. We're gonna show you some cards. You're gonna read them, you're gonna have a look at them and tell me what you think. What's your experience with Yu-Gi-Oh?
I went to locals once and Duncan tried to teach me and I don't remember anything.
You don't remember anything?
I just remember reading the cards and I thought that the way that you play Yu-Gi-Oh is by memorizing every single card and what it does.
Pretty much. Was it fun?
No, because I didn't understand what I was reading. Felt like it was just like a combination of words. I couldn't make any meaning of it.
Sure. Fair enough. Well, we're gonna try our best to make some meaning out of these. So I've got a couple of cards here that I'm gonna present. She's gonna rate them or explain them, and there's some strange ones here. So let's begin.
Heart of Greed. It's a spell card. You draw 2 cards. So what I think it does is that you have to draw 2 cards.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's what it does.
Do you know card games? Like, do you know what drawing means?
Yeah, so you take 2 cards.
Yeah, from where?
From like, you know, the cards that you put in the middle of the table.
The middle.
Is that what you do? Is that what you do in like King and Queen game?
The King and Queen game. Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You take 2 off the top of the deck. We call it. That's what it is.
But is it? Was I right?
Yeah, you take 2 cards.
So you do have that in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like.
It doesn't go in the middle, but each player has their own deck.
Oh, okay. So you take from your own.
Yeah.
Cards.
So you have a deck, I have a deck, and then we draw cards, and then we play against each other with those cards with each other.
Okay.
Yeah. Simple. Okay. So do you think it's good, or what do you think it's like?
I think it's good because it has a spell. Like.
Do you think it's good because it has a spell?
You know, I'm so clueless. So when I say the word spell, I just think about like witches and putting spells on
Sure,
people.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it's inspired by and stuff. Yeah. So like for context, you've never actually played a game. You don't know the rules. Have you played a card game? Just Uno?
Uno.
Yeah.
And
So drawing 2 cards.
yeah.
Do you think that's good in Uno?
No. No, it's not good, right?
No, it's not. So is it good
Yeah.
in Yu-Gi-Oh?
I think so because probably gives you more options, like what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
The more cards you have, the more options you have.
That's genius, honestly. Like that's actually spot on. Correct.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
that's the correct
Okay.
answer. So we have what's called like a ban list in Yu-Gi-Oh. So some cards. I mean, you've heard me scream about the ban list for years.
Yeah.
You want to give me an impression?
No! Oh my god!
I mean, you've heard me so many
I'm
times.
not gonna do it.
Do you have something in mind?
Yeah, like, I mean, so I'm usually downstairs when it happens,
Uh-huh.
and you always, like, the whole house is shaking. So I'm assuming you're just jumping up and down, screaming, "Ban list, yo! Oh guys, it's out, yo!" Yeah, just jumping, a lot of jumping.
Okay. So do you think this card is legal? Do you think it's banned?
No, I don't think it's banned because I always hear you talk about Pot of Greed. So I'm assuming you use it a lot.
Have you heard me mention this?
Yes, I know this card. It's not the first time I see it.
Okay, so you think it's legal just because you've heard me say it a lot?
What is it not legal because it's like greedy or something?
Greedy.
I don't know. I mean, it must be. Wait, what was the word you said?
Banned.
Banned. It can't be banned if you keep using it.
I mean, you can still talk about cards that are banned.
Is it banned? I thought it was like a really popular card.
I mean, it's popular, yeah. Do you think it's banned for competitive play? Do you think it's too strong, or do you think it's like fine?
I think it's probably a really strong card. You know why?
Okay.
Because it doesn't really have a description. It just says draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
So it's probably a card that everyone knows is really good.
All right.
And people...
So because it has less words, it's a more powerful card because you'd have to think about it less.
Yeah, I feel like it's like... Like it's just so strong. Everyone already knows what it does. You don't need an explanation. Like it's so good.
Right. Okay. Sure. Well, Pot of Greed is banned.
Okay.
It's not legal for play. It's been banned for like 20 years or something.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just very powerful.
So for as long as you've been playing this game, it's been banned.
Yeah, pretty much. So do you know what card advantage is? I mean, probably not. That was a dumb question. So
No.
if you activate Pot of Greed, you get 2 cards. You trade 1 card, you get 2 cards. You go +1. That's just, right? Like, that's just math.
My math was not mathing.
There's no way. We're just like each other. It's just a free card. It's just an extra free card for nothing.
Okay.
So it just gives, like you said, it's more options, so you can do more things. So that's.
Oh, okay, I understand.
It's just completely free.
So it's a card that like strengthens other cards. So you use it as a company to other cards.
Company.
It's like a good friend that helps out.
Sure.
The other cards.
I mean, it gets you the other cards.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Okay, cool. So Pot of Greed is banned, and it's really powerful. So rate it out of 10. 8 out of 10, 9, 10, 10. Like, what do you think?
Like 9.
Oh, 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it missing to be 10 out of 10? What's?
Well, it's probably a release. I mean, it is a strong card, but I would give it a 10 if it said a little bit more in the description.
It's just not enough.
I just need to know more.
you need to know more. You just need more information.
Like, I need to know more in order to give it a 10. It's not enough. Just 3 words?
Yeah.
2? 1 number? Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right, next card.
Polymerization? Is that how you say it?
Do you know what that is?
Polymerization. It's a magic card. Fuses 2 or more fusion material monsters to form a new fusion monster.
Okay, so I mean, you don't even know how Yu-Gi-Oh works, so this will be interesting. What does this card do?
I feel like it like doubles what you have. So let's say you have 1 card that is not very strong. It's like average. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, do you use the word draw? So you draw.
Yeah.
So you draw that card. No, you draw this card with that card, with the weak average card. Uh-huh. And you make the average card stronger. Uh-huh.
How does it make it stronger? In what way? Like
it makes it magical.
Sure.
I mean, it's a magic card. I don't know.
So basically, you take 2 monsters and you make a new monster.
What? You take 2 monsters and you make a new monster?
Yeah.
Okay.
And?
So like they can just give birth to like what?
You combine a monster with another monster.
And you make a new one.
And you make a new one.
Oh, okay.
And it's bigger and stronger usually.
Okay. All I can think about is...
sex.
Yeah. It's like mom and dad getting together making a baby. But why is it called polymerization?
How do you say chemistry in Swedish?
Kemi.
Kemi. Well, it's a chemical term for putting polymers together. Oh. Polymer. Made that up. I don't know if that's how you say it in Swedish.
I don't even know.
Did you do chemistry?
Yeah, we had to.
You had to. Do you know what a molecule is?
Yes. What is wrong with you?
I don't know if you know the word for it. I don't know if you know the English word for it.
Yeah.
I don't know the science myself, but you just combine things at the chemical level. That's what polymerization is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you have sex with 2 monsters, you make a stronger monster, I suppose. Do you think it's a good card?
I've never heard about this card before.
Well, I mean, you haven't heard of Pot of Greed. I doubt you've heard of Polymerization.
I had heard of Pot of Greed.
Oh,
actually.
right, sure.
Yeah.
Right. Like from me, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Name every card you know.
Black Dragon or something.
Black Dragon.
Green Eyes Black Dragon. Blue Eyes White Dragon? Who was it? Yeah.
That's the one.
Okay. It was close. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would have heard about this one if it was a famous good card. I've
Okay.
never heard of it.
Alright. I'm still waiting. Like, name every card.
Dark Magician?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Is Tantan a card?
Yeah, he is. I named him after a baby raccoon.
Wait, I know another one. Lilybell.
Why do you know that one? Oh.
Why?
Yeah, I remember.
What else?
Trickstar Lilybell.
Pot of Greed.
Okay, yeah, we've been over that one. I've asked you to name every Yu-Gi-Oh
what
card
was
you've
it?
named for.
The thing is that I don't remember they're not on the top.
Okay, who's that YouTuber you used to really like? Yo, guys, I got banned.
Triff?
Yeah.
What about him?
What deck does he play?
Baby, how am I supposed to know that?
Do you remember?
No.
You don't. Okay.
I just got banned. I'm trying, like, I almost know that whole thing by heart. Trickstar or something?
He plays Trickstar.
Dragoon?
You're just naming shit. Okay, Dragoon. That just got unbanned recently, actually, in Master Duel.
Oh.
In the digital game. It's now back. It was banned. That's how good it was. Now it's back.
That's probably why I know it.
Yeah, okay.
Trickstar Master? Is that one?
You're actually just saying words. Any other cards?
Farfa?
Yeah.
Oh, I know her! I don't want to see. Tour Guide.
Yes.
Yes, Tour
There you
Guide, obviously.
Do you know what pendulum is?
Pendulum Monster?
Yeah.
Yes. Pendulum, best deck.
Yes, yes, classic. Okay, anyway, Polymerization. Good card or bad card? Give me the analysis.
I feel like it's just like maybe 5 out of 10.
Is it because there's not enough words?
I've never heard about this card. Like, if it was good, I would have heard about it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you've only ever heard of 5 cards apparently.
No, the
So-
thing is, if I'm pretty sure I'm gonna know the next card. that
Okay,
you
that's
put on.
cheating though, if you're just basing it off of me shouting it really loudly.
How else am I supposed to know about
I
it?
just want you to analyze it. I just want you to like look at it
Right.
and think to yourself like,
I don't think it's a famous, like, good.
okay, but it's not about fame,
Okay.
right? It's like just reading, analyze it. Like, do you think it's good or bad?
It's probably.
If you think this is too many words, I can't wait to
No,
show you
I've
more.
seen. Trust me, I've seen. I think that this is like, yeah, still 5 out of 10 because it just forms a new monster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't use it for it to like protect you.
What if the new monster protects you?
What if it's like a really bad monster?
Why would you make a bad monster?
I mean, not all monsters are good,
Yeah, so make a good one.
but it's like, I don't know.
Fair enough.
I'm not sold on this card.
Sure, fair. All right, fusion strategies are bad. All right, sorry, branded players.
Oh, this is a good card. Maxi.
All right, what does it do?
So it's an earth card.
Mm-hmm.
Insect effect.
Yep.
During either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. This turn, each time your opponent special summons a monster, immediately draw 1 card. You can only use 1 Maxi per turn. So I'm looking at the picture and
That important, yeah.
it reminds me of that thing that everyone used to have in the 90s.
What?
That like media VHS player and speakers,
Yeah, I can see
cassettes
that.
and all that.
Yeah, it's got a cassette player, actually.
Yeah, and I
That's
remember,
how old this card is.
I remember when you used to close it used to make this click sound. Click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so must be bad because it's old, right?
No, I don't think that's the case.
Okay, you think this is a good card?
Okay, there's a lot of words here.
There is a lot of words, all right.
So I have to like understand what.
So
to make
basically,
out of
every
it.
time your opponent special summons a monster, you draw a card.
What? It's just words. Can you say that again, please?
Every time
Mm-hmm.
your opponent summons a monster, you draw a card.
Okay.
And then what?
So that's what it does.
Yeah,
Every time you're.
we're just repeating it now. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming that this is a really good card
Mhm.
because you can only use it once per turn.
Oh.
So if it was, that means that I think that if you use this card,
Mm-hmm.
you like kill your opponent.
How do you kill your opponent by drawing
Just
cards?
because it's such a good card.
Right.
It like makes all the other cards look bad.
How? You're just cheating.
I'm not.
You just heard me complain about
I
this.
swear to God, I'm not. How am I?
Because you've heard me complain about it, so you know.
I've only heard the word Maxx. I've seen this picture before, but I have no idea. Like I have never read about it, or of course I've never read about it, but I've never. I don't know what it does, but it's just what I assume.
It's when your opponent special summons. What do you think a special summon is?
It's when they do like a special attack.
No, not an attack. A summon.
Huh? When they summon.
Do you know what a summon is?
You know when you have your deck in front of you, and it's your turn, and you have to do something with your cards. So you pick 2 cards.
Right. 2.
To like.
Have sex.
No. You pick 2 cards because one card is like supposed to make the other card stronger. So it's like following a recipe.
Okay, true.
You know?
Combos.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying. That's what I had in my head.
Of course, yeah.
It's called combo. It's not called recipe.
Sure.
So yeah, I think that if you use this card with a I don't know, man. Yeah, I just think that this is a really good card because you can only use it once per turn.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, if it's once per turn, it must be really powerful.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This is one of the most powerful cards in the game.
Yeah.
Every time your opponent summons a monster, which means, you know those monsters. Remember how the field was laid out? That one time I tried to show you? Every time your opponent puts monsters that you attack with, that's, you know, you're trying to put your opponent's life points to 0 by attacking them with all these monsters. So if they keep summoning all these monsters, you're just drawing cards. And you remember from Pot of Greed how good drawing cards are.
Sure.
It's like reverse Uno.
Okay, so the more cards you have,
the more options you have,
the better it is in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have more options.
How do you win?
You put your opponent's life points to 0 by summoning monsters. So you get a turn, I get a turn, I summon monsters, I have to attack you until I do 8,000 damage.
Okay.
Okay, alright, next card.
Snoww, Unlight of Dark World. This is a dark card. And it's got 4 stars.
Level 4, yep.
Is this 4 out of 5?
No, it's not like a rating. It's like how good the card is. This card is 4 out of 5 quality. No, it's just a level.
Okay.
You don't need to know what that is really for now.
Find? Is that how you say that word?
Do you know what that is?
What is find?
Fiend. Do you know what a fiend is?
No.
Oh, you never heard that word before?
Fiend? F-I-E-N-D? No.
Do I need to like Google Translate in Swedish? It's like a fiend is like a little. I don't know how to describe it, to be honest with you. Like a little spooky creature, like a.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you mean.
What is it called?
Well, in Swedish we have a word that is fiende, which is spelled the exact same way with an E in the end, and it means, so it's the opposite of friend.
Enemy?
Enemy.
Oh. That's like, yeah, maybe not. No. Anyway,
okay.
Whatever. That's not relevant. So just read the text. So this is the effect. Like this is what the card does.
If this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, what if?
Yes, perfect. That's it. Yeah, that's everyone's reaction.
Really?
Yes.
Like what? That's not a sentence.
That's not a sentence.
Okay, I have to read it again. If this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, if it was discarded from your hand to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, add one Dark World card from your deck to your hand, then special summon target, if any, in face-up defense position. I just have one question. Like, who writes these descriptions?
Konami does, the company.
Do better.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. So
what does it do? What do you think it does? Just give me, like, the synopsis.
So if someone throws this on your graveyard...
Throws it? Okay. That's
like,
throw.
You know the way we used to play Pokemon or in Digimon?
Well, I didn't play it like that.
We did it like that.
Or you just throw the cards?
The one that throws it further is the one that wins.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Just throwing money. Like, that's insane.
And I just saw that this card was made year 2020.
No,
What?
that's just that's not what that means. That's,
Oh, okay.
That's the it's just like terms of service fine print.
It's just so many words.
Yeah, it is so many words.
And a lot of like big words in the Yu-Gi-Oh world, like graveyard. I've heard about graveyard so many times. I've heard about Dark World.
You've heard of Dark World?
Yes.
Explain.
I've probably just heard you say it.
Sure.
And I've heard about special summon
A lot of hearing from me
and
through the
defense
walls.
position. It's a lot of like big words.
Yeah. So what do you think? You kind of paused after the first sentence. Like, what was that about?
You can't make a sentence like that. It doesn't work like that. Like, you can't just say, if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, if it was discarded. Where's the period?
Where's the topic?
Like, what? Yeah, they have to edit that.
They have to edit it, okay? Functionally, how do you think this works? Like, when you said when it gets thrown to your graveyard, what does it do when it gets thrown to your graveyard?
So when it gets thrown to your graveyard...
That's not the term, by the way, but I love that you are using that, so...
Discarded, whatever. Like, binned the graveyard.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Then you can target them. You can target Snoww. You can target them, and you can...
You can target Snoww?
Yes.
Where did you get that?
Wait. I mean, it's a snow card. That's why I'm saying that.
What? It's a Snow card. That's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when someone uses this card...
When you use this card?
Yes. When I use it, and I throw it in the graveyard...
You just throw it in the graveyard?
This card. What? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
No, you're actually doing well.
So yeah, so when I throw this in someone's graveyard, it means that I can, I get like something back. Like I get a monster that's going to protect my graveyard.
To protect your graveyard.
And like this doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to make sense. I'm really trying.
Honestly, you're actually surprisingly close. If it gets
really?
Yeah, if it gets discarded to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you special summon a monster from their graveyard to your side of the field.
I feel like I'm saying that's what I'm trying to say, but like different terminology.
Yes, you're using very normie civilian.
Yes.
Like text.
So I throw this in the graveyard, and then when I do that, I get a monster that I can use to protect me in future.
In the future. And I owe you.
What?
In the future. Yeah, so this card is famous for being just one of the most badly worded cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! If this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, if it was discarded from... Like, it just starts talking about a different thing.
Yeah.
Like, it just...
There should be a period there after the word.
Well, it's not even like a period, because it has a colon, which is fine for grammatically, but like linguistically, it just doesn't. It says if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, and then you're waiting for like, okay, so what happens if it's discarded to the graveyard by a card effect? If it was discarded from your hand to your graveyard, it doesn't give you the punchline. It just stops talking about it and it tells you the next thing.
Maybe it should be like a semicolon. What's it called? Semicolon.
I don't think a colon or a semicolon is gonna fix this card. Anyway, yeah, so that's Snoww. Do you think it's a good card?
Yes, I think it's a good card because you get protection from it. This card will protect you because it gives you a monster, so this monster is going to serve as a protector. Cool.
All right. So you're right, but for the wrong reasons. It's because if this card is discarded to the graveyard, add one Dark World card from your deck to your hand. So it just adds another copy of a Dark World card. So Dark World is an archetype. It's like a whole group of monsters. So it adds Snoww, Grapha, Lucent, Beige. There's a whole bunch of different monsters that belong to Dark World, and this searches them.
Okay. Pot of Generosity. It's a spell card. Return 2 cards from your hand to your deck, then shuffle your deck. Return.
Why did you laugh like that? Why is that funny?
I don't know, you tell me.
Are you serious?
Return 2 cards from your hand to your deck. Then shuffle your deck.
We're so made for each other. We're just like one another. That's crazy.
You put back 2 cards that you hold in your hands and you put them on your deck. And then you shuffle your deck.
I love your pronunciation of deck.
I know what a deck is. Everyone has, like, everyone plays Yu-Gi-Oh!
Everyone has a deck.
Everyone who plays Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to have a deck. I don't know if it's a good card or not because it depends on if it's good that you have a lot of cards in your hand. What? Wait, I don't think that's a good card.
Okay, explain.
Because don't you need to have a lot of cards in your hand?
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
If you remember what we've talked about.
Yeah, so the more cards you have, the more options you have.
Uh-huh.
So if you have to return 2 cards,
yeah.
How's that good?
You tell me.
Then you have 2 less cards that are good. So what is the spell?
What? What did you ask? What is the spell?
Yeah.
Pot of Generosity. That's the spell.
I know, but it's supposed to be a spell card, but what is the spell?
Oh, I see, like the effect.
Yeah.
Kind of like...
What is the effect?
Like
what does it do? You just put back 2 cards.
Yeah, that's what it does. It just puts back 2 cards.
But how's that good? Isn't a spell card supposed to do good? Like, what is it? Aren't they supposed to help you? How does it help you?
I mean, yeah, so is that your final answer? Bad cards?
I feel like I'm probably not right. Like, I'm... Obviously. I don't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh! But I've heard of this card a lot.
You need to stop saying that. You just heard of every card. Like, you've heard of every card.
I know all Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards.
You know all Yu-Gi-Oh! cards.
Except for, like, the Snoww one that I looked...
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
But I know of this card.
Okay.
And...
No, you know Pot of Greed. You don't know Pot of Generosity.
I feel like I've heard of it.
Why would you have heard of this?
I don't know. I hear you all day.
You listen to me all day, that's why. So yeah, this card sucks. It's terrible.
Oh, so I was right.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. It just puts 2 cards from your hand into your deck.
But why is it a spell card?
It's just, there's lots of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and there's good ones and there's bad ones, and this one is just one of the stinkers. It just doesn't do anything. You just go -2. -3.
It shouldn't be a spell card. It should just be a card.
Do you think there's Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards that just say card? Like no monster, no spell?
It should just be a card because it's so basic. Not even basic.
We're gonna demote Generosity from spell card to card.
But it's a beautiful card nonetheless. Like, I really like the art. It's beautiful.
She looks like you.
No, she does not.
A little bit.
I mean, she's gorgeous, so thanks.
Alright, next card.
Parasite, Paracide. Earth card, 2 stars. Insect / flip / effect. Okay, flip. Put this card face up in your opponent's deck and shuffle it. When your opponent draws this card, it is special summoned to their side of the field in face up defense position and inflicts 1000 damage to them. Then, while this card is face up on the field, all monsters your opponent controls become insect type monsters. I think this card is like punishment.
Punishment?
Yeah, like if you want to attack your opponent, you want to make them suffer.
Well, what makes you say that?
I mean, it's a parasite.
Okay, so we're going based off of the name?
No, not just that.
Okay.
But it says when your opponent draws this card, it inflicts 1000 damage to them. And then while this card is face up on the field, I'm assuming the field is the deck.
No, the field is where you put all of your cards.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Sure you did.
All monsters your opponent controls become... Okay, so they just become like invalid. It invalidates all the attacks that your opponent wants to attack you with.
It invalidates the attack. What is it about the card that makes you say that?
So it just says that all monsters...
it does say that? It says, okay.
It says that
so it negates all attacks.
Yeah, oh, that's the word.
Negate.
Negate.
Okay.
Okay.
So this card negates all attacks.
Yeah, like it says all monsters your opponent controls, they become insect type monsters.
Right.
So they all become like invalid.
Why does an insect become invalid? How did you come up with that rule?
Because it inflicts 1,000 damage.
So if you deal damage to your opponent, it negates their attacks.
Yes. It's just like the card become like parasites.
Their cards become insects.
Yes, like parasites. Yes.
So I mean, you're thinking of it as like they turn their guys into monsters, into little insects, so they can't attack and use their effects.
Yeah, so it negates all the effects.
This card's crazy. Wow, it negates and okay, that's cool.
So no matter what your opponent throws at you, this card negates everything. Like, it's actually a good card in a way.
Okay.
You know why? Like, it's good for one of the opponents. Because it...
One of the opponents?
Because it protects the opponent.
It protects the opponent
from monsters.
So it protects them or you?
I'm confused now, but...
Well, how do you think this card, like, works? Like the first part. Like, how do you get it to do stuff?
So you put it there, and...
Put it where?
On the table. It's
so
like...
you just pick up Parasite, you just put it on the table.
Yeah, and I feel like it's like... You know, some people believe in that eye, the blue eye, that's supposed to, like, protect you from evil things.
Oh.
I feel like this is what it does. Like, just put it there, like, it protects you.
What are you yapping?
It protects you because...
I know what you're talking about.
It gives you, like, a free... Like a shield.
How are you getting that from the words? That's what I want to know. Like, you're just making that up. Like, where does
No, because...
Okay.
All the monsters that your opponent controls, they become insect-type monsters.
Right.
It means they become 0. Like, they don't count.
Because they're insects.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Why not?
Look, we can see in the picture as well.
The photo. The photo. So put this card face up in your opponent's deck and shuffle it. What do you think about that? Just like the first line. When it's flipped face up... So basically the way it works is you set it, and then eventually when it flips up, either back to your turn or your opponent attacks it, it goes into their deck, and then you shuffle their deck.
I don't know what you just said.
So like both players have a deck. I'm going first, I set this, and then eventually it flips up at some point, and it just goes into their deck.
I still don't know what you mean.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. Alright, yeah, so that's Parasite. It's a terrible card, it's really slow. It doesn't do anything. It just makes them insects. That's whatever.
Does it actually protect you? Does it protect one of the opponents?
No. There's no protection here. It just I don't know where you got protection from.
Really? But why does it say that all monsters that your opponent controls, they'll become insect-type monsters?
Yeah, it just changes their type from warrior, spellcaster, dragon.
So they're still powerful monsters.
Yeah, they just are, instead of a dragon, it's now an insect.
That's so useless.
Yes, it is useless.
Because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't negate.
Oh, that's the key word. It needs to negate to be a good card.
Okay, this is a cute card.
Yeah.
Penguin Knight. It's a water card. I like that.
You like that? Okay.
3 stars. It's a cute little penguin.
Yeah.
That has those
shoulder plates.
Shoulder plates and a sword.
A sword.
Okay, Aqua effect. When this card is sent directly from your deck to the graveyard by an effect of a card controlled by your opponent, unite your graveyard cards and your own deck, shuffle them, and form a new deck. I was just waiting for the sentence to end.
Oh,
it never ended.
Is the sentence too long?
Oh my god.
I can't wait to show you the next one, but sure.
Okay.
It's a very long card effect, I suppose. So what does it practically do? Try envision the field and tell me, like, what is it you think it, like, actually does?
Okay. I think that this is a card that you... like, when you It's like added like a little razzle dazzle
Little razzle dazzle.
into your deck. I don't think this card does much. I think it just it adds like a little star effects to your deck.
It adds little star effects to
Yeah,
your
like
deck.
it just makes it a little nicer, but it doesn't really protect you. So I think it's just a cute card.
What is it? What does it do though? Like practically, like
Okay,
and physically, what does it do?
Well, I don't understand how that it says shuffle them and form a new deck. Like what?
What do you think that is?
So you shuffle your cards,
Uh-huh.
and then when you do that, you form a new deck.
Yep.
How? So the cards that you hold in your hand, isn't it like 5
How?
cards? You just told me that you can only hold like 5 cards in your hand. How do you form a whole deck from 5 cards?
It's you unite your graveyard cards and your own deck. Oh, I mean, you don't even know where a graveyard is, do you? When you use a card in Yu-Gi-Oh, it goes to the graveyard.
When you use your card in
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, it goes to the graveyard.
Yeah, that's very important information I should have told you. So when you use Pot of Greed to draw 2 cards, the pot, what happens to the Pot of Greed? It doesn't just stay there. It goes to the graveyard. Because you've used it.
Oh.
Yeah. So then Penguin Knight takes the cards in your graveyard, unites it with your deck, and forms a new deck. You're just laughing at the word deck.
That's not true. I was just laughing because it's just words. Yeah, I don't understand how you can form a whole new deck because I know that it takes like a lot of effort to create a deck.
Oh, right. Can't just write out a deck list.
Literally, like it's something that is hard. People put so much money into their decks and then you just get a new deck. Like what if you like what you already have? What if you don't want a new deck?
I don't want to do that.
Like you're just happy with what you have. It
But-
takes a lot of effort to build a deck. I know that.
But the thing is, you're just uniting it with your own deck from your graveyard. You're just uniting them. You're not making a new deck from scratch. You're just combining it.
So you just add it to what you already have.
Yeah.
And then you just have an extra card.
I guess, yeah, you just get your cards back.
Okay, it doesn't do anything then.
Why not? What do you mean? It unites your graveyard with your deck.
Like you just get your old cards then?
Old cards. Activate Pot of Greed. I'm done with you. You're old cards.
Yeah, like you just get everything that you've already used
Yeah,
back
exactly.
into your deck.
Yep.
I don't know if that's good.
What do you think?
You told me that the more cards you have, the better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's maybe a good card.
This is a good card.
Yeah?
No, it's dog shit. I don't think I can really explain to you why it's a good deck.
Every
because-
time it's a cute card, it's always a shit card.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, so I mean, you know, the problem is with this card is that you have to go to the shop and then buy a new deck and stuff.
So it's not a good card. It's bad for the economy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, last one.
Mystic Mine. This is a really good card.
Oh, come on. Oh, get out of here.
This is a really good card. It's a spell
How
card.
do you remember all of
And
this?
it's got this.
Do you just listen to do you actually watch my streams? Like, that's crazy.
I'm a big fan.
Honestly, best supporter. I appreciate it.
Some of the other cards also said spell cards, but they didn't have this star next to the.
So it's a field spell card, basically. Don't worry about it. It's just a spell card that's always there, basically.
It's a card that is always there.
Because, basically, it's supposed to transform the field. So now it's part of the field. So imagine you're, like, dueling and, like, you're in a forest. And then you activate a field spell called Mountain. Now you're in the mountains. That's a field spell. Like,
Okay.
transforms the field.
Yeah, I understand.
Kind of thing.
I understand. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effect or declare an attack. If you control more monsters than your opponent does, you cannot activate monster effects or declare an attack. Once per turn, during the end phase, if both players control the same number of monsters, destroy this card.
Okay, so what this does is, if my opponent has more monsters than me, they can't use their monsters or attack. If I have more monsters than my opponent, I can activate monster effects and I can attack. So whoever has the most monsters can't attack or activate effects.
How do you do this?
Do what?
Play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's so hard.
I suppose reading the rulebook definitely helps, so that's something I still haven't forced you to do one day.
Oh my god, I actually remember when you oh my god, you actually sent me a PDF of the rule book.
And I asked you to learn it.
Yeah. Oh
And-
my god, this was like when 2016.
I tried to. I mean, that was probably the best place
Oh
to start.
my god.
Did you read it?
I tried.
Did you?
I didn't understand anything. I was like,
You
this is
didn't know-
not for me.
Why did you stop? Was it too confusing, or was it
Yeah.
just too long?
No, I mean, yeah, it was like mix of both, but mostly because it was really confusing.
Anyway, yeah. So Mystic Mine, how does it work?
Okay.
In your own words.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like I am reading another language.
Take a guess. How does it work?
So I think if you use this card, it negates your opponent's monsters.
Pretty much, sure.
So I think if your opponent
Uh-huh.
attacks you with a monster,
Well, they can't attack.
they can't.
No.
Why?
Why? Well, if they have more monsters than you. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent can't activate monster effects or declare an attack.
This card is too hard. Yeah,
just make it
yeah.
up.
I just think that this card like protects you.
You love protection, don't you? That's like your go-to like
So
description for a
what
card.
is the Yu-Gi-Oh name for protection?
I mean, I wouldn't really give it a term, but protection's fine. Yeah, protect. It protects you. Yeah. So basically, Yu-Gi-Oh is about summoning lots of monsters and activating spells and stuff. And the way you win usually is by putting lots of monsters on the field and then attacking your opponent. But if I have Mystic Mine on the field and I have no monsters, my opponent can't attack me because they have more monsters than me. And they can't use their card effects.
Okay. You know what? I don't care about this card. This card is boring.
This card's boring.
Yeah.
You know what? That's actually very accurate. Mystic Mine used to create stalemates in Yu-Gi-Oh because your opponent can't use their effects and they can't attack. So you're just sitting there like both of you just waiting and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Because they can't use anything, they can't do anything, and you're just passing every turn.
But I had high hopes for this card.
Why did you have
I
high
feel like
hopes
I'm
for this?
disappointed.
It's
Because I always hear about this card, Mystic Mine. And it's got a cool...
word on the street. You know, you're always hearing about it.
Like you always hear about it. But then when you actually try to get to know it, you're just like, is that it? You know? I feel like, yeah, I'm disappointed.
It's very
I
underwhelming.
had...
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a balloon deflating.
So Mystic Mine is one of the most hated cards in the community because it created such boring non-games. You're just sitting waiting until your opponent does something, or you're waiting until you draw a way to deal with it. So it's one of the most hated cards ever in the history of this game.
But is it good?
It's very good, yeah. It's powerful. It's a stall card. You just activate it and your opponent can't.
Oh, so it's just like a really annoying card.
Yeah. Kind of like this game, I guess.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to be annoying, you use this card.
Yep. If you want to be a loser.
Yes.
Well, that was fun. What did you think? And I don't know, how would you describe Yu-Gi-Oh in your own words? Like, deep breath.
Oh my god. I don't know how people play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you have to have a big brain.
Yeah, I have a huge brain actually. I'm very intelligent. I'm known for how smart I am actually.
Like, I'm serious. This is hard. And like creating combos and building a deck and remembering all of these,
Yeah, it's
like
very overwhelming.
all the attacks. It's so much, and I know that some Yu-Gi-Oh players, they don't even read the cards. They just know. They just know what the card does.
Oh, they think they know what it does, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I only know Uno. That's all I know.
Yeah, if you've never played a proper like 1v1 card game, none of this is gonna make sense, especially Yu-Gi-Oh. So, unfortunately, this went as well as I thought it would. So I'm glad you gave us some summaries. What is the objective of Yu-Gi-Oh? How does it work? Because you don't even really know that, do you? I didn't teach you that.
What is the objective? That's actually a really good question.
It's a really good question.
That's a really interesting question.
Thank you for bringing it
But
up.
it depends on what perspective you want. So, what is the because? The because, I think, is you get as many cards as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And you make your opponent lose all their cards.
Put their cards down to less cards than you.
Yes.
Kind of like Uno, but in fancier steps, I suppose.
Yeah.
But in opposite way, sure.
I think that's the because. Comment, like, subscribe, and give this video. No, I can't do it.
Could you be a YouTuber?
No.
Too cringy?
I would make like 3 videos and I'd be like, okay, what do I say now?
What do I say now? I'm done.
I've said everything.
Alright, thanks for watching. Nora's my amazing companion for this one. So if you want to see more wife videos and you have ideas for wife videos that probably involve not as much Yu-Gi-Oh as possible, because one day I'll sit and I'll teach you the rules properly.
How would you make a video that involves as little Yugioh as possible with me?
Oh, it's, I don't know.
Like,
we could do a cutest Yu-Gi-Oh card competition.
oh. What is the cutest Yu-Gi-Oh card and why? That's something I could do.
Alright, thanks, peace out. See you in the next one.